Hello and welcome. You're watching AD4 TV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Adirayo Senami. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the nomination of former Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Okonjo Iweala, for the position of Director General of the World Trade Organization, WTO, after the former Director General of the organization, Roberto Azevedo, stepped down a year ahead of the end of his second term. The President has solicited the support of esteemed African Union member states, permanent missions and embassies in Addis Ababa in favor of Okonjo Iweala's candidacy. The election is scheduled to hold in Geneva, Switzerland next year for a 4-year term that will run from 2021 to 2025. The Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR in Nigeria, has barred companies and promoters indebted to the federal government from participating in the 2020 bid round for marginal oil fields. Recall that the DPR had on Monday announced the commencement of the 2020 marginal field bid round for indigenous companies and investors interested in participating in the exploration and production business in the country. Still in Nigeria, a yet-to-be-confirmed number of police personnel and passers-by have been killed by suspected armed robbers who invaded the First Bank of Nigeria Limited and the Divisional Police Headquarters on Thursday in Isonlu, Kogi State, Nigeria. The gunmen had invaded the police headquarters, killing the officers on duty, including the Divisional Police Officer, DPO, and another policeman on duty at the bank. The Police Public Relations Officer in Kogi State, William Aya, confirmed the attack. He also said the number of casualties is yet to be confirmed. Across the world, governments, companies and individuals around the world have pledged $8.8 billion for a global vaccines alliance to support the development and distribution of a potential COVID-19 vaccine and also help programs stalled by the coronavirus pandemic. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson at a virtual summit on Thursday said it was time for humanity to triumph over disease. The meeting brought a funding target of $7.4 billion for Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, to provide vaccines at a reduced cost to 300 million children worldwide over the next 5 years, with more than 50 countries taking part. And in the US, thousands of United States citizens filled Cadman Plaza in Minneapolis at a memorial in honor of George Floyd on Thursday, a man most of them never knew, but whose desperation and ignored pleas for help resonated deeply. Floyd's family was joined by dozens of guests, including civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson, Democratic Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar, Martin Luther King III, and actor Kevin Hart. Similarly, flames from candles illuminated the streets and parks of Hong Kong as tens of thousands of people defied coronavirus restrictions and gatherings to commemorate China's Tiananmen Square massacre. The annual vigil carried a new significance on Thursday as Hong Kong people remembered not only the hundreds and possibly thousands killed when Chinese soldiers cracked down on pro-democracy in Beijing on the 4th of June 1989, but also looked ahead to a new national security law that China plans to impose, with critics saying it will threaten Hong Kong's civil liberties. The American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, has sued the administration of US President Donald Trump, alleging that officials violated the civil rights of protesters who were forcefully removed from a park near the White House by the police using chemical agents before Trump walked to a nearby church to take a photo. The lawsuit filed in federal court comes as Attorney General William Barr defended the decision to forcefully remove the peaceful protesters, saying it was necessary to protect officers and federal property. The suit argues that Trump, Barr, and other officials unlawfully conspired to violate the protesters' rights when clearing Lafayette Park. Recall that on Monday, law enforcement officers aggressively forced the protesters back, firing smoke bombs and pepper balls into the crowd to disperse them from the park. Back in Nigeria, the federal government of Nigeria on Thursday threatened to review the relaxation of the restriction placed on religious gatherings if worshippers violate its guidelines. The chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Boss Mustapha, who said this at the COVID-19 Task Force press conference in Abuja, lamented that some Nigerians who tested positive for the virus have refused to go into isolation. He advised vulnerable people, especially those above 55, should worship at home. We'll take a short break now. When we return, Egyptian man uses COVID-19 as pretext for daughter's genital mutilation. We'll be back shortly.
I am a refugee from Rwanda living in Kenya, but I'm also a nurse working on the front line during this COVID-19.
I'm a refugee from Iran living in Sydney, Australia. I'm also a civil engineer running online series of live conversation with doctors for the community.
I'm a refugee in Ghana, but I'm also a nursing student. I help my community to stay safe by sharing useful information on COVID-19.
I'm a South Sudanese refugee living in Nairobi, but I'm also a communication officer giving timely and verified information on COVID-19 to my community.
I'm a refugee from Burundi living in Rwanda. I'm also a refugee college guidance counselor providing support to refugee students during this pandemic. I do it for you.
I do it for you.
I do this for you.
I do it for you.
I do this for you.
I do it for you.
Welcome back. You're watching 84 TV Radio News. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, on Thursday confirmed 350 new cases of COVID-19 in the country, which takes the national total number of cases to 11,516. Nigeria has so far recorded 3,535 recoveries and 323 deaths. Meanwhile, an Egyptian man and a doctor have been referred to a criminal court over female genital mutilation performed on his 3 young daughters under the pretext of receiving COVID-19 treatments. Egypt's Prosecutor General Hamada El Sawi has called for an urgent legal action against the accused, as female genital mutilation has been illegal in Egypt since 2008. The mother of the girls who reported the incident has since divorced their father. In Mozambique, Justice Minister Helena Kida said more than 1/3 of the inmates in Mozambique's prisons should not be incarcerated. The minister revealed that 6,000 out of the 16,000 inmates have been awaiting trial for more than 4 months, which is the legal maximum limit, and as such should be released. She added that many of those who are serving sentences should also qualify for conditional release. And that's it on 84 TV Radio News, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. You can join the conversation on our website at www.84tvradio.com. Please follow us on our social media platforms at 84 TV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at 84 TV Radio. Many thanks for watching. I am Adirayo Senami.